The haters said nobody wants to play in Indiana. They claimed top players would avoid teaming up with Caitlin Clark. Then Sophie Cunningham arrived and blew up their entire narrative. The WNBA veteran, known for her fierce competitive spirit and take-no-prisoners attitude, couldn't contain her excitement. "Hey guys, it's Sophie Cunningham here. I'm finally in Indiana, and I am so excited to be here and meet all of you. See you guys at the game. Bye." Those aren't the words of someone who doesn't want to play for the Indiana Fever. Those are the exact words of the WNBA enforcer who just arrived in Indiana and is ready to change everything for Caitlin Clark and company. The narrative that nobody wants to play in Indiana, completely demolished in a single day. Sophie's press conference revealed exactly how she felt about the trade. "You guys will learn that if I'm not in the gym, I'm normally by the pool," she explained. "I was actually poolside when I found out. And you know there's a lot of emotions just because I have been out there for so long. But to be honest, my original thought was like, oh heck yeah, like we're about to go win a championship. I'm just stoked. I'm so excited," Sophie continued during her introduction. "I think it's refreshing. I've been in Phoenix for the past 6 years, was drafted out there. I've had a really great time. I've been very blessed with being around a lot of GOATs in the game and learning the game on another level. But again, this is just a new style, and this is the style that I thrive in fissions, when you have people who can shoot the ball, who move the ball, who are running gunners and share the ball. This is the type of offense that I want to be in." There's something even more meaningful about this move for Sophie. "As a Missouri native, returning to the Midwest feels like coming home. I love it," she shared during her media introduction. "My roots are here in the Midwest, and just to be closer to home, family is everything to me. I have a really great support system, and you better believe I've already had over 100 of 200 people reach out, 'Hey, how do we get season tickets?' I was like, I have no idea. I just got traded 2 hours ago." Remember all those times last season when opponents practically used Caitlin Clark as a punching bag, the cheap shots, the hard screens, the unnecessary contact after whistles? The Fever just added the one thing Clark desperately needed but didn't have it, a true enforcer willing to make opponents think twice. "I'm fierce. I'm sassy. I stick up for my teammates. I stick up for myself," Sophie declared in her introductory press conference. Those 5 words about sticking up for teammates might be the most important thing Clark has heard all off-season. Let's face it, last season was brutal for the rookie superstar. We all watched as Clark got knocked around, bumped and targeted with little consequence game after game. The physical play escalated while her teammates seemed unable or unwilling to step in and send a message. It was like watching a boxing match where only one fighter had someone in their corner. Caitlin Clark was getting hit a lot, she was getting hit a lot early, and they needed their Charles Oakley. "You've got that in Sophie Cunningham," one analyst noted. Throughout her career in Phoenix, Sophie built a reputation as the ultimate teammate protector. When opponents targeted Mercury stars, they knew they'd have to answer to Cunningham. She's made it abundantly clear that the same protection now extends to Clark and the rest of the Fever roster. There are countless videos of Sophie confronting opponents after hard fouls on her teammates. Remember when Nisha Hines-Allen fouled her Phoenix teammate and then tried to step over her? Sophie grabbed her leg and got right in her face. None of the other Mercury players dared approach Hines-Allen, but Sophie went head-to-head without hesitation. "Sophie Cunningham in general is just wild," one commentator described. "Wild is the best word I can use to describe Sophie Cunningham, and it is just carnage. A lot of time when Sophie Cunningham gets involved with anything, it's carnage." The amount of fights that Sophie Cunningham has been involved in is mental. What makes Sophie such an effective enforcer isn't just her willingness to get physical, it's her complete commitment to doing whatever dirty work the team needs. She thrives in contact situations, finishing plays through defenders and creating space for her teammates. This physical edge addresses a critical void in last year's Fever lineup, which often appeared outmatched when games turned into physical battles. The ripple effects of having a legitimate enforcer on the roster extend beyond just Clark. Aaliyah Boston and Kelsey Mitchell will benefit from having someone willing to set the physical tone in games. More importantly, opposing teams will have to recalculate their approach to playing the Fever. The rough-up Clark game plan suddenly comes with potential consequences when Sophie Cunningham is on the floor. Beyond the physical presence Sophie brings to protect her teammates, there's a basketball fit so perfect here that it almost seems unfair to the rest of the league. While her toughness has been the headline grabber, Sophie Cunningham's elite shooting might be the true game-changer for Indiana's offensive blueprint. Last season she connected on 38% of her attempts from beyond the arc, giving the Fever another shooter to surround Clark, Aaliyah Boston and Kelsey Mitchell whenever they get double-teamed. In Sophie Cunningham, the Indiana Fever are trading for a multi-dimensional wing capable of knocking down the three ball. One scout evaluated, "Remember those frustrating stretches last season when defenses would collapse 3 or even 4 players around Caitlin Clark when the ball would swing to the perimeter? The Fever simply didn't have enough consistent threats to make opponents pay aside from Lexi Hull and Kelsey Mitchell." That's where Sophie changes everything. In her 2022 campaign, she averaged 12.6 points while shooting a blistering 40% from downtown, numbers that earned her consideration for Most Improved Player. On offense, Cunningham is a floor spacer and a deep shot maker. Each of her last 3 seasons, she's finished top 20 in the WNBA in threes made per minute on the floor among qualified players, and she will join a backcourt that features 2 of the top 5 three-point shot makers from a year ago, Caitlin Clark and Kelsey Mitchell. What makes this pairing so lethal is the perfect stylistic match. Sophie herself couldn't contain her excitement when discussing the Fever's playing style. "This is just a new style, and this is the style that I thrive in, when you have people who can shoot the ball, who move the ball, who are running gunners and share the ball. This is the type of offense that I want to be in." Over Cunningham's last 4 seasons, she shot an impressive 38% from the three-point line, and among players to hit at least 203 threes over that time, only 4 players in the entire league have shot it better from distance, one of those being Kelsey Mitchell. Cunningham's ability to space the floor should give the Fever all-star backcourt even more room to create on the drive than they had a year ago. The spacing Cunningham creates transforms Indiana's offense in multiple ways. For Clark, it means defenders can't sag off their assignments to double-team her, opening cleaner passing lanes and driving opportunities. For Aaliyah Boston, it translates to less crowded paint areas where she can operate one-on-one against interior defenders. And for Kelsey Mitchell, it means another proven shooter to take pressure off her as the team's primary perimeter scoring option. But let's not overlook her defense, where in Phoenix her versatility was on full display. Capable of guarding positions 1 through 4 in the lineup, she would defend star point guards one game, then be a small ball 4 the next night. As the Fever looked to improve defensively from a season ago, her style fits Stephanie White's system perfectly: aggressive, in-your-face and physical. What often gets overlooked in Cunningham's game is her positional versatility. At 6'1" she can seamlessly slide between shooting guard and power forward positions depending on matchups. Need a smaller, quicker lineup? Sophie can play the 4. Need more size on the perimeter? She can guard bigger wings. This flexibility gives Indiana coach Stephanie White lineup combinations she simply didn't have last season. Cunningham is right in the heart of her prime, just 28 years old. Picture the nightmare scenario for opposing defenses: Clark driving and kicking to Cunningham spotting up in the corner, Boston establishing deep post position as the defense scrambles to recover, and Mitchell ready to attack closeouts on the weak side. Don't forget the versatility of the team with Natasha Howard, Nalissa Smith and Lexi Hull always ready to get you buckets and defensive stops. That's not just theory, it's the explosion waiting to happen with these complementary pieces finally together. Sophie will bring playoff experience to the Fever too. She's played in 15 playoff games over her 6 seasons and logged nearly 300 playoff minutes. Key experience for a Fever team hoping to make deep playoff runs for years to come. The analytics support what the eye test suggests. When you pair an elite passer like Clark with an elite three-point shooter getting clean looks, efficiency skyrockets. The shots that were contested last season suddenly become wide open. The passes that were risky now find their targets with room to operate. In the Fever offense that sometimes stalled in crucial moments now has another reliable option to turn to. When asked about her immediate reaction to the trade being championship aspirations, Sophie explained, "I think that our team right now it's turning heads. Getting Nalissa Smith was absolutely huge. She was one of my bets when I was a rookie coming in, and she's no one to mess with. I love Natasha Howard. You have Aaliyah Boston. You have Kelsey Mitchell. We just have a squad, and our depth is amazing." While the Fever offense finds new life with efficient shooting, there's a championship vision brewing in Indiana that has veterans like Sophie Cunningham making bold declarations. When Cunningham first stepped into the Indiana training facility, she didn't waste time with formalities or media obligations. Instead, she headed straight to the gym with trainer Keith Porter, diving immediately into contact finishing drills and shooting work. This wasn't just another player going through the motions of joining a new team. This was a championship-minded veteran laying the groundwork for what she believes is coming. "She has changed our game in the best possible way. In every way," Cunningham said of Caitlin Clark, recognizing the transformative talent at the core of this revamped Fever roster. But what truly elevates Indiana from an exciting young team to a legitimate title contender is the championship DNA now flowing through their locker room. Remember when Cheryl Swoops claimed nobody wanted to play in Indiana? That narrative looks increasingly ridiculous. With every championship-caliber veteran who's chosen to join the Fever's revel, the additions of Nalissa Smith, Natasha Howard, and Sydney Colson have quietly transformed this roster into something special. Smith brings unmatched potential. Howard arrives with 3 championship rings and elite two-way versatility, and Colson adds championship know-how and locker room leadership that can't be quantified in box scores. What it do, peeps? Sheryl Swoopes has been missing. Sheryl Swoopes is MIA. They got an APB out for Sheryl Swoopes. If you see Sheryl Swoopes, she did a lot of talking a few months ago about the Indiana Fever, the locker room environment, how people didn't want to play there, how people wanted to leave. What makes this roster construction so intriguing is how these veterans complement the young core. Cunningham's experience reaching the WNBA Finals in 2021 gives her valuable perspective to share with teammates who haven't yet experienced the intensity of playoff basketball. Speaking of chemistry, in her first day with the team, Sophie praised the culture Indiana is building under head coach Stephanie White. "I've always been a huge fan of Stephanie White, and I'm not kidding. We in college, I played, she coached against me and whatnot, so we've known each other for quite a long time. Since I've been in the league, I was like, hey, when are you going to coach me?" It's always just kind of been a running joke, and it's been one for the past like 3 or 4 years, to finally all kind of come together just at the right time. I'm stoked. I think she's a heck of a coach. I love her offense. I love her approach to games and her approach to her players, and the relationship she has with her players. I just think that we're going to do something really special here moving forward. Fans responded with overwhelming support, flooding social media with excitement about seeing her in action. The connection was instant. No adjustment period needed. Sophie didn't just join the team, she embraced it completely from day one. Now that I've been here and I have been paying a lot more attention to it. It's crazy, right? It's a whirlwind. And there's an adjustment period not only for her, but for her teammates around her, for Indiana as a whole. But I think it's all really good things, and so it takes a little bit to get adjusted to it. But after that, I mean, come on, you're part of something great that doesn't come around very often. And so if you're not paying attention, I don't know what you're doing. This is exactly the kind of addition the Fever needed, someone who genuinely wants to be there, who believes in what they're building, and who brings both skill and enthusiasm to the locker room. While critics like Swoopes continue pushing outdated narratives,